We don't know that yet, but the officers, they're all, they if it was a stolen vehicle, you know, they have a list. They really, truly do. And if one of them is white big rig, well, that matches the description, and it's not, you don't see, this would be an unusual thing. So that might have been the reason. They definitely have to have a reason. I understand that to run the plate. But, maybe it was an illegal U-turn. Maybe it was just, it had to have been some type of infraction for the officers to run that plate and try to light him up. But clearly, he didn't stop in Fontana. He hasn't stopped in any of the other cities. Well, he has technically stopped, you're right. But we've seen that. He stopped in the roadway. But it hasn't come to an end anywhere, and it just continues on. Still, those speeds were about 43 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. Fontana PD, it's difficult. I really feel for these guys and gals that are chasing them right now. It's, how do you bring this thing to a stop? How do you do it safely? They have clearly all these police departments. They have protocols. You can't throw his car out in front of him or try to ram him or anything like that. I'm sure that's not on their list of, approved ways to bring a pursuit to an end. So how do they bring it to an end? And just following it, that command presence, hey, we're right behind you. You need to pull over. We're seeing it, but it doesn't seem to be working for that driver. It depends. Maybe one of the officers from Fontana did stop just to, like I said, they were not going to arrest him. That person didn't legally do anything wrong, communication or yelling at him. And he, for all we know, the guy was just yelling at him, "Hey, pull over! What are you doing? Bring this thing to a stop." But we just don't know. But of course, if they can, I'm sure that they would. Like if this was an LAPD pursuit and we were in LAPD's area, they would have a number of units. The description would have gone out and somebody probably would have gone by and, see if they could locate that person. In this case, they have a limited number of officers and with them from their department. So maybe they did, it probably didn't, because they probably felt like all those units that are behind this vehicle are needed in case this comes to some sort of end and there's a standoff and or a foot pursuit and they need to set up a perimeter. So I don't know. The answer is, I don't know, but I gave you a list of possibilities of what could have happened. Getting back on the freeway, northbound 5, and continuing on. This is one of those ones, like I said, we could be watching this for some time. And thank goodness a lot of the public not getting involved. A little bit of a break in traffic that might be because of the slower speeds of the big rig and the fact that law enforcement with lights and sirens are happening down there. But you know what? This is LA, and some of these folks are just like, yeah, that's not for me. I'm just going to keep on going. I got to get to the mall or whatever it is they need to do today. But at any rate, this guy right here, that's the one. He needs to pull over. He needs to bring this thing to a stop. And of course, I would like to know what the original, what the reasoning is there too. Is it a stolen vehicle? Why are you guys running? Why are you keeping Fontana PD busy this afternoon? Well, you know what? It's a plan, and maybe somebody down there was watching. I'm being serious about that. I'm sure that there is some discussion about how they're going to handle this. I know that there is an airship over it besides us, and that they could actually keep following behind him and just put. It's called basically tracking mode. That's what they call it. Just kind of track this big rig to some point, and maybe just recover the big rig. Sometimes, if it is a stolen. That's a win. Somebody's going to get their truck back. If they get the bad guy, that's a double win. That's the big win. But right now their plan basically is what we see right there. Just kind of stay behind them. Reckless driving, we're not seeing that. So it's a difficult call. How do you solve that? This is the life of law enforcement. This is what's might be going through this guy's head right now, or whoever the supervisor is in this pursuit. Because how long do you, like you said, how long do we chase this guy? And what do we do to try to bring this thing to an end? It is really a difficult process, and again, one of those ones where sometimes I think to myself, I'm glad I'm just the guy sitting in the back of a helicopter running a camera and watching these things, because I wouldn't want to be the one making those decisions, because I know me, and I would make that decision that would probably get me in trouble, but maybe bring this thing to an end. Is that the buddy again? We're back to the orange guy. Sweet divots. Look at that. Oh, it's Orange Lady. It's Orange Lady, I think. Off the roof. Whoa! Ho, ho! Yeah, you wondered how they were going to pit it? There you go. That's how they're going to do it. Woo! Where did that come from? Whoa! Sweet divot steak. Did you see that? Now that's going to be probably the Orange County. Let me see what agency that is. I believe either it's LAPD or Orange County. But boy, the game has changed, hasn't it? No more of those little cruisers. Now we got the big boys in here. Definitely SWAT. There's no doubt about that. And I'm kind of venturing to say, and now we're seeing it. Like that big rig, now he's driving. It didn't do much. And that was a hard hit too. That was a hard hit right to the side, and that's kind of what I was saying also with the cruisers. If one of those little cruisers would have tried to do a pit maneuver and hit one of those tires, it'd probably just take off the bumper of the cruiser. This is an armored vehicle. This is like a real serious armored vehicle. Boy, I hope we do a story on what those things can do and what they can handle. But at any rate, there you go. That's how the game is going to change. Now he or she behind the wheel of that armored vehicle, they might be able to do another pit maneuver, and they might be able to spin this thing around. And then, of course, it's how do you block it in? It's not a done deal, that is for sure, but definitely a game changer. And so, woo! Leaking fuel. Definitely changed the game, and I hope everybody switched over to Channel 13 and is continuing on with us here at Fox. But check that out. Definitely took out that saddle, that tank saddle right there, and it's definitely leaking some fuel. Those tires, at some point we actually saw like it on the wheels, but we also saw a trail behind it, like there it is. You can see like right there where he made that turn. So it's definitely splashing. This other vehicle right here, that's probably going to be some other SWAT officers that are probably going to be there to assist as this thing definitely comes to an end. Now, this is the thing also. Now we're leaking fuel. So is this going to be enough to bring it to stall out that engine? Is it going to be enough? His driving definitely picked up. The adrenaline definitely picked up. The speeds, everything. So, yes, it definitely changed the game. That driver of the Bearcat, that's the official name or the brand of the armored vehicle, definitely did an amazing job. And took me by surprise, I'll tell you that. I didn't see that coming. But right now, the pursuit definitely continuing, and now we're back into that same neighborhood. And again, orange shirt. I'm not sure if that was the same orange shirt, but I think it was. I'm not 100%. So there must be some connection over here, be it just, they know each other or something. But there's definitely a passenger in there as well, so we don't, like you said, don't know any of the relationships, don't know who's who, and we don't know the players, but we do know some of these players. And that armored vehicle, that can do another pit maneuver. Is he going to have that opportunity? Hopefully soon. We'll see what happens out here, but that definitely changed up the game. Fontana PD seems to have fallen back a little bit. Busy street out here, busy street, and is going through a red light. What do we got? Doors open. What's he? Yeah, was he going to jump out? What's the plan here? And of course, check out the oh, we're going to get in front. Yep. And there's some of the other SWAT team. Yep, just going to box him in. I gotta wonder if this thing just ran out of fuel or if he just kind of changed his mind. But boy, I tell you, having some weapons pointed at you is going to change your attitude. Check him out. The passenger, hands up, like right out the box. Is he? Yep, definitely has something in his hand. Maybe he's recording. Who knows? But the driver, we're going to kind of make a turn, see if we can get back over to the other side. We're not up here by ourselves. But at any rate, you can see law enforcement really rolling in here. I thought Fontana PD backed off, but boy, oh boy. And there's a lot of guns down there and a lot of bullets. I hope nobody gets hurt. But right now, the driver, we don't know if that door is open. We don't know if he can open the door. Yeah, door's definitely opening. There you go. You can see the mirror. So the driver and passenger stepping out. And, and the dog ready to go if needed. So we'll see what happens. And, go ahead. Right. Definitely. And it's all policy. It's all policy. And policies can change in some places just between divisions. You might, CHP, I can tell you when it's CHP Ventura, those guys are still cowboys out there, and they will bring a pursuit to an end quickly. But the ones in the valley, they have a different policy, and they have to follow their rules. But you know what? You're right, and an excellent observation once again. Definitely different type of policy. This guy in custody, and like you said, they don't play around. The armored truck came around really quick, blocked it in. That turret guy jumped out with the weapon. And this guy's hands are up. And, this is the thing, too. I am sure he is waiting for the command to get down off of the truck and basically get taken into custody. He's not being defiant. He's actually waiting for permission. That is what's going on. But look at the number of law enforcement. Most of those are going to be the Fontana PD. I got to wonder if that is all Fontana PD. Maybe they got their SWAT guys in place, or if this is Orange County. I can't quite get the name right there. Is that, say, Orange County or North County? So this actually might be a Fontana SWAT department that actually joined the pursuit, which is, it says North, so this could be Fontana. And that is amazing that They wanted to take this guy in, and they did, for sure. Don't mess around. Definitely. Nobody got hurt. Yes. Thank you. Melissa, it says North County on it. North County. That's all. That's what it says on the door. North County. So I'm thinking it's San Bernardino. Woo-hoo! Hey. Are you happy? That's what I'm. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I wonder if we can do the Citadel live. Are we still live on some other channel? Simon, Desk, Melissa, or anybody, are we still live on another station? We are? Okay. All right. Yeah, if we can do it live on the way back, that'd probably be the best. Back to regular programming. All right.